In a fast-paced society where the availability of digital devices are increasing, it can cause an individual to pose the question, are paper books sustainable?
I do.
I do. Actually, several.
I definitely do. I have at least 3 or 4, yes.
I do.
Oh, yes.
I do. Yes.
I do.
Occasionally.
I do.
At this point of the device, because then you can carry it with you.
I prefer reading on an actual book.
And why is that?
The devices are cold to the touch, and I have arthritis in my hands and it hurts. So unless I wrap the device in something, if they're cold, they're expensive, and I'm afraid I'm going to drop them. Where a paper copy book is, $10 or something.
I think even though I have a lot of devices that do allow me to read digital books, I actually like to hold a book in my hand, and I do enjoy that.
No, I'm a big proponent of the digital book, the e-book. I'd like to see schools like ours switch to more of a digital platform in order to do this. We're doing it in blended classes, so I'd like to see textbooks on the device, databases on the device. So I'm definitely a proponent of the e-book and the digital.
I think so. I'm a little worried with I mean, we can always grow more trees and make more paper and recycle the paper, and that's what we do in the library, is recycle the books that we don't use anymore. The electronic devices I'm a little concerned about, because I've been using electronics since the, mid-'80s, and there's just stockpiles of all this old technology, and there are, there's mercury in it and all kinds of other metals and whatever, and I'm concerned that those aren't being recycled, and I'm concerned about where they're going, and so until they resolve some of those things, I'm a little concerned about how the waste from electronics is harming our environment, where I know paper isn't.
Yes, I believe that there will always be paper copy books. Maybe not as many as we have presently, but there are a lot of people that I know who definitely aren't interested in reading a digital book, and so there will be probably always books available in that form.
is reporting bookstore chain Borders will ask a judge to approve liquidation of the company later this week.
The last chapter is expected to begin for Borders on Friday as the Ann Arbor-based chain begins liquidating.
This is Carl Stevens. It's the beginning of the end for Borders Books here in downtown Crossing. The liquidation sale begins today.
No matter where these book lovers, what Borders they shop at, they were all hoping that this day would never come. But now they are blaming the economy and technology.
Closed 1/3 of its bookstores. The company has suffered recently with physical book sales severely hurt by the advent of digital book readers, making it hard for Borders to pay its huge debts.
We're talking about the books that we're weeding. We call it weeding from the collection, but it's part of a collection development and management. And libraries have a finite amount of space, so when we buy new books, we have to get rid of some of the old books. And the other reason we do that is because some of them are outdated, their information is wrong, some of the terminology they use is no longer germane. We just don't talk like that anymore. So we get rid of those kinds of books, but especially if they have outdated facts and that kind of thing. The books that I'm currently getting rid of, I've weeded through the old fiction and the old biographies and the old reference books. And I want to say on the reference books, a lot of our reference books are now online. So we don't need to hold them physically in the library. When I buy new ones, they're online books. Right now I'm reading the social studies and history books, and those are books that haven't been checked out in 5 years or more. We have a way to run a report on our circulation system to show, I get a list of which books have been checked out. And most of the books are very old, in very bad shape. They're like old, smelly books. Mm-hmm. So, that's part of the reason they aren't checked out. But they're also books that were written in the 30s and 40s and 50s. And they're kind of in a language we don't use anymore. Writers don't write in that style. It's really kind of old-fashioned style of writing. And I don't think kids today enjoy reading that type of thing. That's how we do it.
be you and me. Gonna be everything you ever dreamed. Wanna be who you need. Gonna be everything